with me. It's just gonna load up here and get the Twitch going. With me. All right, so everything looks good. Let's get the share. All right, screen sharing. Great. Everyone can see the screen. Can everyone
Yeah.
see? Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So we're on chapter 5 of the Seven Trumpets, Decolonized. In this is this is chapter 5. There we go. All right, so quick review. In chapter 4, we proved that the little book is the Bible. Okay, we brought out the scriptures proving that. We showed that Revelation 10:11 means John would prophesy concerning many nations, not before many nations, okay? Um, and we showed that, regeneration, by getting this proper understanding, it shows that, or it gives one more clue that this regeneration that Israelite congregations keep preaching is a bag of foolishness. It's not true. It's a lie. Nobody comes back from the grave. All right. People go to the grave, and the resurrection or returning from the grave happens at a particular time and a particular time only, right? And that's obviously aside from the times that Yahweh Shai resurrected various saints while he was on earth after he resurrected, right? The point being that no spirit goes to the Most High and then returns, man. That does not happen. And in fact, according to Second Esdras, I don't remember the exact chapter. So a few of the lost verses of Second Esdras. Your spirit only remains uh, in the earthly region in the spirit realm, but the earth region for 7 days. Okay. And then you return to the heavens, man, right? Or I should say to the storage places for souls, whether that be um, the storage for torture or the storage for redemption, right? You gotta wait. You go into the waiting room, the spiritual waiting room, whether that be the one of torment or the one of peace and quiet. Okay, and that's pursuant to the book of Second Esdras, and that's also pursuant to the account in the New Testament where Yahweh Shai tells a parable of a rich man and Lazarus says to the rich man, "There's a great chasm fitted between you and I, and even if I wanted to help you, I really couldn't." Okay. So anyway, we looked at that. Um, we looked at the, John was going to prophesy concerning many nations. Okay, not too many nations. Okay, John did not regenerate in 2025. There's no prophets regenerated in 25, man. No one is John the Baptist. Okay, nobody is Elijah. No one is a Saint Paul. Okay. So every Israelite claiming these things is a liar, man. They're lying to you. Okay? These things are not true. All right. Last week we also decolonized Revelation chapter 11, verse 1, proving that there is no temple in the New Jerusalem and that the inhabitants are not religious people, okay, like Christians, etc., but they are the Israelites and the Gentiles who cleave unto them, okay, by keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. All right. Last week, we also proved that the oppressor is excluded from Yahweh's kingdom. All right. This week, we're going to break down verse 2 and 3 of Revelation 11. All right. So let's start with verse 2. Revelation 11, and then we'll go to verse 2. Let's get that, please, Ben.
But for the court which is without the temple, leave out and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months.
Right. So, this is pretty dense, like a lot of the book of Revelation. I mean, the whole damn book, to be honest. Or the whole blessed book, I should say, because it's not damned at all, but blessed. The whole holy book of Revelation or scroll of Revelation is dense. And this little piece here, there's a lot of scriptures to get the understanding. The court which is without the temple, leave out. Okay, we kind of started seeing why. And measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, saith Yahweh, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. Okay, so what does that mean? If you go into these Christian churches, man, you're gonna hear one bag of juggling, because they're a bunch of clowns, man, right? And they've all learned their doctrine from Satan, right? Which we know spiritually is the demon, and according to the flesh is the oppressor, man, the so-called European, right? That's pursuant to Daniel chapter 8, 18 to 24, Daniel 9, 26, First Maccabees 1, 1 to 12, First Maccabees 5, 3, First Maccabees 4, 61. Man, Romans 9, 13. There's too many scriptures, okay? Revelation 12, verse 5 to verse 10, or you can go from verse 1 to verse 10. There's too many scriptures. Job 9:24. Come on, right? So in any case, we're gonna break down sort of what these things mean. Okay, so it says, measure not the court, all right? And then goes on to say, because it's given unto the Gentiles, okay? And the holy city, they'll tread underfoot for 42 months. So again, the Christian church will do side flips and back flips and juggle and make lions, jump through hoops before they answer this, right? But the scriptures are pretty clear as to what's happening, all right? So what is the meaning of this? Let's look at the precepts. Measure it not, okay? The temple which is without, the court which is without or outside the temple. So the big yard outside the temple, don't measure it. What does this mean? Revelation 21, right? Let's just go here. Go to the 21st chapter. And then we'll read verse 21 and 22. Let's get that, please, Sister Kira.
24?
21 and 22.
Okay. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
Right. So why are we reading this? It says, well, measure not the court outside the temple. All right. Now, it tells you the holy city doesn't have a temple, which means there's also no court outside the temple. Okay. Why is this significant? Well, that's why John said the court outside the temple, don't measure it. Oh, sorry, that's why the angel told John, don't measure the court outside the temple, right? Because there is no court. And as we looked at, I think it was last week or the week before, the temple is the city. The whole city of Jerusalem will be holy. That's why there's no temple. Yahweh Shai and the Most High is the temple inside the city, but the whole city is holy. That's why there's no temple. Now, in the original, anyway, we'll get to that. So the city has no temple. The temple had courts for the Gentiles originally. So the angel told John, don't bother with measuring the court this time around. Why? Why did he say don't measure it? He specifically said because it's given to the Gentiles and they'll tread the holy city down for 40 and 2 months. What Gentiles was it given to, right? Well, devil worshippers, man. Okay? The temple was given to devil worshippers, man. That's who it was given to. That's why it says they're gonna tread it down for 40 and 2 months. Not the city of New Jerusalem that's gonna be established, but essentially the Dome of the Rock, which sits in the place of the temple, right? And the city of Jerusalem will be defiled at that time, man. Right? So don't bother with it. The angel said to John. Okay. So the Dome of the Rock is what's sitting at the Temple Mount right now. There's no the Jewish haven't been able to build their third temple. But rest assured, their goal is to destroy this thing and build the third temple, right? And again, this is what is going to pull the whole world into the valley of Jehoshaphat for the Most High to destroy them there by war, man. This one little point, right, in the whole world is gonna be the magnetic point to pull the entire world um, for the Most High to pay them back for destroying his people. Okay, just trying to get this little thing, this mount here. Okay, so just bear with me. So let's prove that it's devil worshippers in Jerusalem right now. Right? He says it'll be trodden down of the Gentiles. What does that mean? It means devil worshippers are gonna be there, right? Well, I mean, Brother Micah, that's a bit extreme. Can you prove that? Well, yeah, right? This is Revelation 2:9. Read that, please, Ruth.
She isn't there.
Okay, go ahead.
12.
Yeah, you read then.
Okay. And to the angel of the church in Pergamos write, these things saith he which hath the sharp sword with two edges.
Right.
I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr.
Martyr. You were supposed to actually read verse 9.
Oh. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So the Most I tell you straight up that number one, I know the Israelites are going through tribulation and that they're poor people, man. But he's like, don't worry. And these are the words of Yahweh Shai. It says, don't worry, you're rich. And then he says, I also know the lies of them which say they are Jews, and they're not Jews, but they're the synagogue of Satan, man. So the Most High let us know that the people that are saying that they are the Israelites and they're not the Israelites, these are priests of the church of Satan, right? So that's why I told you guys, John, the angel told John, don't measure the temple. Well, he told him that it's going to be trodden down of the Gentiles, because devil worshippers will be the ones in charge of the place. The Israeli is a worshiper of Satan, okay? A priest of Satan, actually. That's his church, man. That's who they represent with the hats and the white shirts and the bag of wizards, man, right? Priests of Satan. That's why they traffic children. And this is not conspiracy. The news has found the tunnels between their synagogue and a so-called female bathhouse with mattresses and all kinds of evidence of trafficking in the basement, man. Don't forget, a couple years ago, there was a huge scandal where a whole heap of them were found to be trafficking human organs, man, which they get mostly from Israelites, right? And that's not even the full extent of what they were doing. And there were judges, like so-called respectable people in society, man, with a crime ring trafficking humans and organs, amongst other things. Okay? And now you can see why, right? Let's read 3 and 9 as well. We're in chapter 3. Just read verse 9, please, Ben.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Right. So the Most High says He's gonna expose them. He's gonna make them come and worship before the feet of the real Israelites. Okay? And when's this gonna happen? This is gonna happen when Yahweh Shai returns to reclaim the kingdom for the Israelites. All right. And we'll look at scriptures on that in a little bit. The point here being, the angel told John not to measure the outer court, um, because it's given to the Gentiles and they're gonna tread it down. How are they gonna tread it down? Well, literally, devil worshippers are gonna be the ones dwelling in the place. Okay. Now, this is the highest level, the priests. The so-called Muslim is also a devil worshiper because they worship a rock. You understand? And all the devil is, well, it's twofold. The humanistic meaning is a deceiver. Okay, so what they're worshiping is not God. Their leaders have deceived them. Okay, and the other meaning is a demon. And anything that is not actually the Most High that you're worshiping, and it's spiritual, it's a demon. So these guys worship demons, man. You understand? Their Muhammad worship and the worship of the Kaaba stone is demonic, man. Okay? So that's why he told you, hey, these Gentiles will be treading down the holy city, man, for 40 and 2 months, right? And we're going to look at the 40 and 2 months, but let's finish with this holy city. So, number one, because devil worshippers are going to be there. Number two, because no Gentile court is in the New Jerusalem. You're either allowed in the city or you're excluded. Okay, so these are the reasons that he said, don't bother measure this. Okay. Number one, um, in the interim, before New Jerusalem is established, the place is defiled. All right. And number two, there's no Gentile court in the New Jerusalem. You're either in or you're out. Now let's go to Revelation 21 again, and we'll read a bit further down. We'll read 25 to 27 to prove that. Um, let's go, Sister Kira. Sister Kira, are you there?
Sorry, I'm here.
Go ahead.
What verse? Sorry.
25 to 27.
Okay. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Right. So the Most I tell you, and what's he talking about? Verse 23. The city had no need of sun, neither of moon to shine. And then we read earlier, higher up in 21, 22, that this is talking about the New Jerusalem. All right. 12 gates, 12 pearls. Okay. See. It had a wall great and high. Where is it? It says, I saw New Jerusalem coming down from heaven. Bear with me. Yeah. Carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain. Verse 10 showed me that great city. See that? The holy Jerusalem descending out of heaven from Yahweh. And if you're new, it's not actually descending, that's just plans, because the sons of the strangers shall build our walls pursuant to Isaiah 60. Okay. So it says, into the city, nothing that defiles, worketh abomination, or lies, man, will enter into the city. But only those that are written in Yahweh's book of life, man. Okay? So you can't even enter the city if you're not holy. Okay? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Right? This is why the angel told John, don't bother measure the court, man. Right? Or this is another reason I should say. He told him, don't measure the court. First of all, it's going to be defiled, right? Before Yahushua returns, and then upon the return of Yahushua, there's no court. Okay? Can't even get into the city if you're not holy. Verse 36 here in Ezekiel 20. All the way to 42. Go ahead, Ben. So you can't enter the city. Furthermore, look at this. Excuse me. Go ahead, Ben. You can't enter the city unless you're holy. Furthermore, look at this.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith Yahweh. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me.
Mm-hmm.
I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh.
Pause. So not only are they not going into the city, nothing unclean is coming into the land of Israel. Okay? That place will be completely holy. Nothing that defile, make a lie, deal with impurity or sin is coming even into the land of Israel. Because Yahweh tell you that he's going to take his people, bring them into the wilderness, and whoever's unrighteous, he's going to kill them there, man. Okay? That's plain, right? Read on.
As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh, go ye, serve ye every one his idols. And hereafter also, if ye will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols.
Pause. So the Most High said, yeah, I'm telling you this. And, so here what? From now on, if you want to go and worship devils, man, with the rest of the heathens, go, man. But don't pretend that you're worshiping me. Don't come bring me nothing. I don't want your stuff. I don't want your things. Don't bring me your sheep. Don't bring me your goats. Don't bring me your first fruits. Don't bring me your wheat. I don't want your barley. Don't bring your wine. Just go serve your false gods, man. Okay? And stop polluting my holy name with your bribes, etc., man. All right? Read.
For in mine holy mountain, in the mountain of the height of Israel, saith Yahweh, there shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings, and the first fruits of your oblations with all your holy things.
Pause. So the Most High is telling you, all the righteous in the house, in the land of Israel is when they're gonna serve him. Right? So we see the separation. The righteous can't get in. The righteous are in the land doing all the service to the Most High. Okay? He will require what? The offerings. There's another precept for the altar I was talking about, I believe it was last week, right? Um, kind of gonna touch it again today, right? The offerings being offered, the first fruits of the oblations, right? All the holy things of the Israelites are being offered in the land, right? Because if you know anything about the ordinance of making offerings to Yahweh, it can't just be done anyway. It has to be done in the temple. And since there's no temple and the whole city is holy, or since the Most High and Yahweh Shai are the temple and the whole city is holy, this is where the holy things will be uh, brought before the Most High, and he will accept them. And he told you the whole house of Israel is going to come and do it. So where's the Christian? Where is the Muslim? Where is the Rasta? Where's the agnostic or the Stoic, right? Where's the Buddhist? If all paths lead to the Most High, why is he telling you that it's the Israelites that's going to be in the land serving him? Where are these people? Well, the truth is they're not there. Okay? And if they're in that spiritual practice and you're following them, you're wasting your time like they're wasting their time. There's only one path to Yahweh, and his people know the way. Okay? Okay, so read.
I will accept you with your sweet savor. When I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen.
Read.
And ye shall know that I am Yahweh, when I shall bring you into the land of Israel, into the country for the which I lifted up mine hand to give it to your fathers.
Right. Hallelujah. Right. So the righteous are going in the city, and they're going to be making the offerings to the Most High there. Okay, the unrighteous are not even allowed. Sorry, they're not even allowed into the land. That's how holy things will be, right? Because in case you guys forgot, holiness naturally means separation, set apart. If something is holy, you put it over there on a pedestal and it's by itself and that's the spot for it and you don't want nobody to touch it and you vex if somebody touch your holy things, man. That's what holiness is. And the whole of the land will be like that, right? So, that was the second witness. Let's look at First Maccabees 7 to see the Gentile court in the Old Testament, right? And this is just to prove these things that I'm saying to you guys, right? I told you guys already, it means there's no Gentile court in the New Jerusalem. These are the scriptures to prove these things, okay? First Maccabees 7, and we'll go from 33. All right, now watch this. This is the account of an Edomite um, coming into Jerusalem when the temple, the second temple, was still standing. Okay, and look what happens. All right, he's not allowed in certain places. In certain places, yea, the priests had to do the sacrifice on his behalf, man. Okay, you don't just open the gates and walk into the Most High temple. The Most High deal with perfect order, right? And as you can tell from the sons of Aaron, when you break that order, you pay with your life, man, right? And people are breaking these orders now because he tells you within the scriptures, because judgment for a sin is not speedily meted out, therefore the heart of man is fully set within them to do evil, right? Which basically means because people are not getting their punishment right away, in their mind, they're like, it's all good. I can do whatever I feel like. You see? But the punishment is coming. Kind of like when your parent tell you don't do something, and then you keep doing it, and they watch you, and they watch you, and they watch you, and one day you go to sleep, and you start feel the belt in your sleep, man. That's how Yahweh is dealing with people that don't listen, right? Yahweh Shai give a time of grace, a time to repent. See, before, you used to be dealt with swiftly and immediately for your sin, man. At the beginning, when the Most High just gave the Israelites the law, statutes, and commandments. Hey, you lie down with a man or wife, you get stoned to death, etc., etc. Yahweh Shai come and give you a period of grace to stop sinning, man. Because some people are actually really struggling with sin. And then mankind take this as an excuse, and Israel take this as an excuse to keep sinning. But record is being kept of exactly what you're doing and when you're doing it. And when faced with the records, what shall you say? Right? That's why it's important to stop sinning, you know? Anyways, let's read this account here. Sister Kira, let's get that from 33 to 35. So again, this is gonna show that the Gentile court in the Old Testament, right? Go ahead.
After this went Nicanor up to Mount
Zion.
Zion, my bad. And there came out of the sanctuary certain of the priests and certain of the elders of the people to salute him peaceably, and to shew him the burnt sacrifice that was offered for the king.
To show him what?
The burnt sacrifice that was offered for the king.
Right. So Nicanor, an Edomite, comes into Jerusalem, right? And the elders of the people and certain elders and priests come to show him, hey, here's the sacrifice that we offer for the king, man. Right? Who was the king at the time? I don't remember. He was a Greek though. All right. And then look what he does. So again, the point being, you didn't just go in there and sacrifice, right? The priest did the sacrifice for you, man, right? That is the ordinance of Yahweh. You bring the sacrifice to the priest, and the priest makes the sacrifice on your behalf. Okay? So this is how it worked in the Old Testament, right? Um, or this is, I should say, this is how the ordinance works, period. The priest makes the offering um on your behalf, man, right? That's why the Israelites are the way for the heathen to get to the Most High. They cannot just go learn from anybody and do what they feel like. They have to come through the priests because the priests are able to show them the way to Yahweh Shai, man, right? And we looked at that last week. So after they showed him the burnt sacrifice, what did he do? 34.
But he mocked them, and laughed at them, and abused them shamefully, and spake proudly, and sware in his wrath, saying, Unless Judas and his host be now delivered into my hands, if ever I come again in safety, I will burn up this house. And with that, he went out in a great rage.
Right. So, of course, the Edomites, the so-called Europeans, the oppressors, they have no respect for the Most High and his temple. Okay. Never have, never will. Right. But the point here being, the priests sacrificed for the Gentiles, all right, in the Old Testament. That's why there was a court of the Gentile. They had to hang out there and wait for the work to be done upon their behalf, man. They couldn't enter the temple, right? Let's get a witness on that. Last one, Numbers 18. And we'll read from 1 to 7. Let's get that, please, Ben.
And Yahweh said unto Aaron, Thou and thy sons in thy father's house with thee shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons with thee shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood.
Right, meaning, this is a weird translation. There's no iniquity in the sanctuary, man. It's the burden or the responsibility of the sanctuary. That's what they are to bear. All right. So he says to Aaron, your sons and your father's house and you will deal with the sanctuary. Okay. And the priesthood, you and your sons, you guys will deal with that responsibility. Okay. And read on.
And thy brethren also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of thy father, bring thou with thee, that they may be joined unto thee, and minister unto thee. But thou and thy sons shall with thee shall minister before the tabernacle of witness.
Right. So all the work that needs to be done in the holy and most holy place, Aaron, you and your son's gonna do it, but the Levites bring them to help you to do the work of the sanctuary and the work of the priesthood in general. Okay? Read. Three.
And they shall keep thy charge and the charge of all the tabernacle. Only they shall not come nigh the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they nor ye also die.
Right? Just as I said. Read.
And they shall be joined unto thee and keep the charge of the tabernacles of the congregation for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come nigh unto you.
And what?
And a stranger shall not come nigh unto you.
The stranger can't just pull up, man, right? The stranger can't just pull up on Aaron. Why? Because the man is most holy, right? Read. And it doesn't just have to do with Aaron, right? Ben, you there?
And ye shall keep the charge of the sanctuary and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel.
Read.
And I, behold, I have taken your brethren, the Levites, from among the children of Israel. To you they are given as a gift for Yahweh, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I
Pause.
have
Pause. Yahweh told Aaron plainly, you and your sons, you guys are going to keep the priest's office. For some of the things that come to the altar? No. For all of the things that come to the altar, man. The offerings and such, right? And within the veil that is in the most holy place. Okay? And you shall serve. So everything that has to do with the altar and the thing within the holy place or the most holy place, um, I believe it's the most holy place, but it could be the holy place and the most holy place, but I believe it's the most holy place. He says, and you shall serve, right? So nobody's coming and just making sacrifices on the Most High's altar, man. All right. Aaron and his sons, that's their office. Okay. If you come and do that, it's death, you know. Read.
mm,
Before you hold on, before you read on, I want to let you guys know you're gonna see instances in the scriptures where people came and defiled the Most High, a heathen came and defiled the Most High's altar, right? Especially the Edomites. And some of them died immediately. Well, really none of them died immediately. Why? Because the Most High tells you the Israelites, when they do evil, he punished them immediately so they can change. The heathen, though, he stores up the anger. That's why on the day of indignation, he's gonna howl, he tell you, like a woman in travail, man. Okay? The Most High is storing up the anger, and when he strike the heathen, it will shake the earth, man. Right? So just wanted to make that clear. Read on.
I have given your priest office unto you as a service of gift, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
Okay. So any stranger that come nigh to do what? The priest's office, which has to do with what? Everything that have to do with the altar and the sacrifice. They shall be put to death. Okay. This is why, one second. This is why the angel told John, don't measure the outer court. Okay. This is one of the two reasons that I stated why the angel told John, don't measure the outer court. Okay. In the interim, it's already defiled, okay? And there's no temple in the new Jerusalem. In fact, you're not even allowed in the place unless you're holy, all right? Also, the Gentiles can't come in there and sacrifice anyway. They can't do the sacrifices. It's not for them to do. If they try to approach the office of the priest, they shall be put to death. And this is why you find such a large swath of Christians, especially in the world, um, period, right? Because Christianity leads to death, right? Why are they being put to death? Well, they're trying to take the priest's office, man. They're trying to do the work of the priest's office as heathen, which they're not allowed to because they will be put to death. So because they're so gung-ho, and many heathen will hear the Israelites tell them that they cannot just approach the throne of the Most High without us, okay? Without our teaching, okay? Without serving the children of Israel, man. In humility, knowing that we are the kings and queens, princes and princesses of the earth, the royal priesthood. They will not humble themselves before Yahweh by humbling themselves before us. And so they will die, you know? So this is why John told the angel, sorry, the angel told John, don't measure uh, the outer court. And this is why he also told him that the court is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city they shall tread underfoot. And we're going to deal next with the 40 and 2 months, okay? Let's go, well, we're back in Revelation 11. So we read this last part here. The holy city shall he tread underfoot. We know the holy city is where? Ben.
It's in Jerusalem.
It is Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the holy city, okay? So Jerusalem, they're going to tread underfoot. It says 40 and 2 months. Now, what does that mean? Well, when we break down verse 3, you should be able to see exactly what it means. So let's read verse 3. I'll correlate the two, and then we'll break down the whole of verse 3. All right? Go ahead. Yeah, read verse 3, please, Ben. Actually, let's get Amari if he's available to read verse 3.
No, he's not available to read right now. Sorry.
No problem. Ruth, are you available?
Yep.
Read verse 3, please.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy. 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Right. So the Most High said, I'm going to give power unto my 2 witnesses. We're going to break all of this down. And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, and they're going to do it clothed in sackcloth. So we got to break down each of these phrases to see what they mean. But first, I want to show you guys the relationship between the 40 and 2 months and the 1,260 days. Before I do that, is there anyone that knows the relationship between these two concepts already? Brothers first, if you know any. Do you know what the correlation between the 40 and 2 months and the 1,260 days? Going once, going twice. Sisters, do you know the correlation between the two? Going once and going twice. All right. So 1,203 score days, right? He said his witnesses in verse 3, his two witnesses are going to prophesy, or which is preach, 1,203 score days clothed in sackcloth. 1,203 score days is equal to, and 3 score days, when you divide by the real length of a year, which is 360 days, you get 3 years and a half, okay? 3.5. When you divide 42 months by the length of a year in months, you get the same 3.5. So we're going to read about 3 days and a half. We're going to read about 42 months. And we're going to read about 1,203 score days. They're all dealing with the same time period. So what we got to do is figure out, well, what time period is this? Because in one instance, the 40 and 2 months is, in two instances, the 40 and 2 months is 3.5 years. In one instance, it measures it as 3.5 days. So is it 3.5 months? Is it 3.5 days? Or is it something else? Well, I'll tell you guys from now, it's symbolic for a certain amount of time, and we'll get into that, okay? As we break down verse 3. So, and I will give power unto my two witnesses. Let's deal with this part first. I will give power unto my two witnesses. Who are the two witnesses? Verse 4 will tell you who the two witnesses are. Read that for me, please, Sister Kira. Verse 4.
These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before Yahweh of the earth.
Right. So who are the two witnesses? The two witnesses are the two olive trees and the two lampstands that are standing before Yahweh, man, the ruler of the earth, or the God of the earth, or the mighty one of the earth, right? Who are the two lampstands then? The two witnesses are the two olive trees and two candlesticks, right? Two olive trees and it says the two witnesses are the two olive trees and two candlesticks. All right, so who are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks or lampstands, right? Okay, let's go to Zechariah 4 and verse 11, and we'll see. Right? Remember, we're searching for the two witnesses, and the Most High has given us crumbs, right, to follow. A trail. Ben, let's get 11 to 14 here, please.
Then answered I and said unto him, what are these two olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, and upon the left side thereof? And he answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches which through the two gold pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves?
Pause. I just want to let it be known that when you ask Christians about who the two olive trees are, they tell you that, it's the grafted in Gentiles. That's the word on the street. Okay. Well, let's see if it's a grafted in Gentiles according to the Bible, man. Right? So read on. 13.
And he answered me and said, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Messiah. Then said he, These are the two anointed ones that stand by Yahweh of the whole earth.
Right. So who are these two olive trees and two candlesticks? He said, these are the two anointed ones. Okay, so now we get another clue. So now let's go look and see who are the two anointed ones that stand before the master of the whole earth, right? Let's go to First Chronicles 16. Let's get this, please, Sister Kira. Chronicles 16, and we'll read from 13. And we'll read all the way to 22.
From 13?
Yeah, from 13 all the way to 22. We're trying to find out who are the two anointed ones. Go ahead.
O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones.
Mm-hmm.
He is Yahweh, our God.
Mm-hmm.
His judgments are in all the earth. Be ye mindful always of his covenant, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations,
Right,
even of the covenant which he made with Abraham, and of his oath unto Isaac,
right,
and hath confirmed the same to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant,
right.
saying,
So, oh, sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
saying, Unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
When ye were but few, even a few, and strangers in it,
Mm-hmm.
and when they went from nation to nation, and from one kingdom to another people,
Right,
he suffered no man to do them wrong.
right,
Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes.
right.
Um, sorry, could you go down? For their sakes. Saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm.
What did he say?
Touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm.
So the scriptures tell us, Zechariah 4 told us that the two olive trees are the two anointed ones that stand before the master of the whole earth. And then now here in First Chronicles, we learn that the anointed, right, are who? What did we learn about the anointed here in this passage? Sister Kira, you just read it. Were you able to gather from this reading who the anointed are? And if so, which verse?
Yeah, the children of Israel in verse 17, it says it.
All right, let's just give me a second here. Let me know what's happening here. There we go. My phone's acting weird. Which verse?
I think 17.
All right, so it says, and I've confirmed the same to Jacob for a law and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. Yes, yes, certainly. Also, in I think, was it the first verse? Yeah, 13. O ye seed of Israel, his servants, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. Right? And then he goes on and tells you about the covenant he made with Abraham, and he confirmed it with the Israelites. Right? And then tells you that he defended the Israelites the whole time when they didn't have no land, and he gave them Ham's land. Right? And then he said to the nations, don't touch my anointed. And among my anointed, you better not do their prophets any harm either. And we all know what happened there. We know the Israelites killed the Most High's prophets by their own hand over and over and over again. I don't even remember a single heathen killing a prophet, right? I could be wrong, but I believe every single one of them were killed by Israelites. The people the Most High sent to help them the most, they killed them every single time, including his son. In fact, I can say that with confidence because I remember a what is it called? A parable from the New Testament where the Most High tell you he kept sending workers to the Israelites and they killed the workers. And so he sent his own son thinking, okay, they're not going to kill the son because, they know this is the son. And they killed him same way, right? So the point here being, in verse 22, we see who the anointed of the Most High is. The anointed of the Most High is not Christians in church, man. In fact, these people are not even Christians, right? Which I did a very short video on, where it tells you a Christian is a relative of Yahweh Shai, man. So you can't be a Christian unless you're first related to Yahweh Shai. But that's a whole other topic, right? And the point here being, the anointed are the children of Israel, right? Let's get Ezekiel 37:22. Let's get another witness on that. How are we doing for time? Okay, we're okay. Read, Ben.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
Right. So the Most High said he's gonna take his read 21 as well.
And say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and will bring them into their own land.
You see? Right? So there's no mistaking who the Most High is gathering. Just bear with me a second. I just want to note this here. Right? It's the children of Israel. And then he tell you the children of Israel will no longer be two anointed ones, two olive trees, two witnesses, but he's gonna make them one again. Okay? They won't be two sticks anymore. There's going to be one stick in the hand of his servant David. He's going to reunify the nation of Israel, which is really what Galatians 3 and Galatians 3 is about. And it's proven very easily in Ephesians chapter 2, right? So the two anointed ones that we read about, the two witnesses, which is what we're looking for, are, according to the scriptures, who, Ben?
Jacob and Israel.
Mm-mm. What two kingdoms did he divide the nation into, and he's gonna reunify them under one?
The northern and southern kingdom, which is Jacob and Israel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Mm, yeah, okay. Okay. Yes. For clarity's sake, Judah and Israel would be a better thing to say because sometimes, when you say, even though Jacob is sometimes used in the context to just represent the southern kingdom, which is what I believe you're referring to, just for for clarity's sake, for the people that are new and don't really know the scriptures like that, it's Judah and Israel, um, or Judah and Ephraim, Judah and Samaria, the northern and southern kingdoms of Israel. Okay, these are the two witnesses. So thanks. Very good, Ben. So this is so now we have the full understanding of, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, right? So he's talking about giving power to the northern and southern kingdom. And he says, and they shall prophesy 1,203 score days, clothed in sackcloth. All right. Now, this is another dark sentence. We already looked at many scriptures showing that the Bible is full of dark sentences. Okay. The scriptures tell you it is the Most High's pleasure to reveal a thing, to conceal a thing. All right. This is just for the rookies, right? But it is the glory of kings to reveal these things, right? So the Bible is not, you don't read the Bible like a storybook, man. Okay? This is a box full of puzzle pieces, and you got to put them together with the precepts pursuant to Isaiah 28, verse, what is that? 9 to 10, which the Christian church decries and swears up and down that that's not how you put the scriptures together, and yet they cannot translate Revelation 12, 1 on down, or really any of the scriptures properly, any of the dark sentences, they can't decipher them, right? Because they're just going off the top of their heads instead of using the precepts, which make things very clear. And this is Proverbs 25 and 2. It says, it is the glory of Yahweh to conceal a thing, man. Yahweh love to put secrets in this book, man, and in the world. But it is the honor of kings to search out a matter, man. Okay? So you want to be a king? You understand what I'm saying? You want to be royalty? Hey, busy yourself in these dark sentences. In another place, he tells you that the wise busy themselves in dark sentences, man. Right? They try to figure these things out, right? That's the true glorious work, man. Not making $1 million and driving a Lambo, fam. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Not buying red bottoms and showing up to church in skin tight clothes, man, and being hailed as a lady such and such and Lord so and so, man. Madness. Anyways, so that's that part broken down. I will give power unto my witnesses. We know what that means now. So let's look at the other thing, the other piece. They shall, oh my gosh, I can't even select this properly. Anyway, they shall prophesy 1,203 score days, and then we'll look at clothed in sackcloth. So what does it mean? It means that the Israelites will preach from a very low estate for 350 years. That's what that means, okay? During slavery, right? So when it says, let's see, when it says, they will prophesy 1,203 score days clothed in sackcloth, it means that the Israelites will preach from a very low estate for 350 years during slavery. All right. Now let's prove that. So go to Daniel 12. And we'll read we'll read 1 and then we'll read 7 to 10. So let's get that, please, Ben. Read 1 and then hop down to and give me 7 to 10.
And at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Pause. So there's a bunch of things happening here, okay? Michael shall stand up at a certain time. There we go. There shall be a time of trouble, right? Unlike any other time. The Israelites will be delivered at that time. The righteous Israelites, because it says the ones found in the book, okay? So these things are to happen. Michael gonna stand up at a certain time. That is documented, the time is documented in Revelation, I believe, the 12th chapter, which we'll probably look at today. There's gonna be a time of trouble unlike any other time, all right? And Michael is gonna stand up at that time of trouble. That's unlike any other time, all right? So now we know when Michael's gonna stand up and defend the people at an unprecedented time of trouble for the righteous Israelite, okay? And they're gonna get delivered at that time, all right? So the enemy will not conquer them at that time. Their oppressor will not be able to destroy them during that particular time, right? Now let's hop down and see some other things that's gonna happen. Let's get 7 to 10. So at a certain time, we're defended by the archangel Michael, and we overcome our oppressor. And at another time, we are overcome by our oppressor, right? And we should be able to glean some of that out of here from 7 to 10. Go ahead, Ben.
And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and sware by him that liveth forever
Forever.
that it shall be for a time, times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And
Read.
I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O Messiah, what shall be the end of these things?
Mhm.
And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
right? Another very, very dense book in the Bible, right? The book of Daniel. So let's piece this together. What we just read says, the righteous will be saved at a time of tribulation like none other. It will occur after the complete scattering of the Israelites' power. Okay? Because it says here, somebody is to accomplish the scattering of the power of the holy people. Once that's accomplished, all these things that Daniel is seeing, these visions, will be finished. Remember, Daniel is also the man that saw the statue with the bronze and the silver and the gold and the iron mixed with clay. Okay, so all these visions he's being told is going to be accomplished when the scattering of the power of the holy people is done. Now that's a little bit of a tricky phrase because it doesn't mean everything will be complete, but it means it doesn't mean it'll be finished, but it means that these things would have happened. So all these things you're seeing, Daniel, would have happened by this time, not that they would have finished by this particular time. And we will prove that with the precepts. So the first thing I want to touch is where it says, these things are gonna happen, but it will be for a time, times, and a half. Okay? What does that mean? A time, times, and a half. Anybody know? It's related to the 1,260 days and the 42 months. So what would a time, times, and a half represent?
Three and a half.
That's right. One time, then two times, one time plus two times, three times, and half a time. Okay? So 3.5 times. So it shall be for a certain time, two certain times, and half a certain time. What's going to happen? Well, the oppressor would have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people. How do we know it's the oppressor? Daniel 8:18-24 clearly say, I'm not going to go there, you can read on your own, clearly tells you that the Greek would scatter the power of the holy people. I have to do it. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I gotta do it. The rough goat is the king of Grecia, which is Greece. First horn between his eyes is the first king, which is Alexander the Great. Now, the history books tell you it's his father, but the scriptures are referring to Alexander the Great. How do we know that? It says, the horn was broken and four stood up for it, and four kingdoms is going to stand up out of the power of that kingdom. And this is literally Alexander and his four generals. Okay, Alexander died, and then he gave his power to his four generals. All right, and they had four kingdoms. Okay, then it says, in the latter time of their kingdom, which kingdom? The Greek kingdom. Okay, what's going to happen? He's going to destroy the mighty and the holy people. See that? Okay. Then he's going to go ahead and through his policy, he's going to cause craft to prosper in his hand. He's going to magnify himself in his heart, which is his mind. And by peace, he's going to destroy many. And here's the kicker. He's going to stand up against Christ, but he'll be broken without hand. So the Greek kingdom personified as a he here, really it's the Edomites, are going to stand up against the Prince of Princes, but be destroyed. Okay? But the Greek kingdom, the Edomite, the oppressor, is promised to have destroyed the mighty and the holy people. Okay? And he is promised to have done it over a time, times, and the dividing of time. So I just want to point that out here. Okay, that now we've seen time, times, and the dividing of time in 3 ways: 1,260 days, 3 days and a half, a time, times, and the dividing of time, and 40 and 2 months. So 4 different ways the Most High has spoken about the very same time period. Okay. So Daniel said he didn't even understand what was going on. Right here. I heard, but I understood not. And I said, what shall be the end of these things? And then the angel says, go, Daniel. The words are closed up and they're sealed until the time of the end. This is the time of the end, brothers and sisters. So the words are no longer sealed. Why? We have a library. The whole world is our library through the internet. We have many hidden books and expensive books to go and cross-reference. We can see all the kingdoms that have come before us, and then we can link these things up with the scriptures to see what these things are talking about. We Israelites have done it with Daniel chapter 11, naming the individuals that Daniel was referring to, right? We've done it with the book of Revelation here in this study series, right? There's many things we've been able to figure out because you need to be able to you need to be able to use hindsight to be able to decipher these things. This is why Daniel couldn't decipher these things. None of this stuff had happened yet, right? And the angel wasn't explaining it to him because it was not to be explained. It was to be figured out by the Israelites in this time. So anyway, he says, many shall be purified, made white, and tried. Okay? This is very important. Many shall be purified, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, made white, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and tried, because there's going to come a trial like no other trial ever before. It says, but the wicked gonna do wickedness, and none of the wicked gonna understand, man. The Christian, the wicked Israelite, the Muslim, none of the religions, none of the philosophies will understand, but the righteous will understand. Okay? The wise, okay, which are the people that keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, they will understand. All right? So let us begin to pick this apart by breaking down the different parts of this Daniel here, right? So you guys see how complex this is. You gotta go into Revelation and break up phrases in Revelation that take you to other books where you gotta break up phrases of those books as well. This is what it takes to understand the book of Revelation, right? All praise to the Most High, He gave us the ability. So let's look at tribulation like none other. All right, so it says here, where is it? Where I want? In a very small piece here, and tried, it reiterates what verse 1 is saying. There shall be a time of trouble such as never was a nation, even to that same time. Okay? So we're going to use these things to pinpoint the 3 days and a half that it's talking about. What time is that talking about? That's talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. That is going to be the time uh, of trouble that there will be that's like no other time of trouble ever before it. All right, let's prove that. Jeremiah 30. We'll read 7 to 9. Go ahead, Sister Kira.
Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, and he shall be saved out of it.
Pause. So the same thing we saw in Daniel 12:1, there's going to be a time of trouble like no other, and Jacob will be saved out of it. Jacob is code name for the 12 tribes of Israel. Sometimes they're just called Jacob, right? So there's going to be trouble like no other, and Jacob going to get saved out of it. Right here in Jeremiah 30, it's reiterating what Daniel has said and starting to give us clues into what this is talking about. So Jacob's trouble is what Daniel 12 is talking about. So we're going to find out what Jacob's trouble is as we move forward. Go ahead.
For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Pause. Yahweh said, this time of Jacob's trouble that you get saved out of, when you get saved out of it, the yoke that whoever has upon your neck has, the slavery that they have you in, the Most High say He gonna break you free from the slavery. The bonds that you have, okay, that are on your hands and feet, He gonna break you free from those bonds. Moreover, the bonds that are upon your mind, you will be, well, it's really your hands and feet, because the Israelites that are righteous, we are free in our minds, which is the freedom that leads to eternal life. But upon our necks and upon our hands and upon our feet are still the bonds of this damn captivity, which we hate. So the Most High said, in that day, okay, when you get saved out of your trouble, Jacob, no one will be able to have you as a slave anymore. You see, many Israelites, when we go to work, especially the men, say, yeah, I'm on the plantation. Because we're still slaves, man. Moreover, this is not conspiracy. Written in the laws of America is in the 13th Amendment says you can't be subjected to slavery anymore unless you commit a crime. This is still the law of America today. So once you get caught up with the law, you're a slave again. If you never get caught up with the law, you still don't have any freedom. Every day, your paycheck and your money goes to your enemy, to your oppressor. Everything you buy, he gets it. What do you have? What do you get? What is established in your community? Where is their protection, their army? Where's their nukes? Where are they on the world stage? Because you're not African, you're a Negro, which is different from an African. The Africans sold the Negroes into slavery. The Negroes are the Israelites. Where is the Israelite nation? Where's our bank? Where's our school? Where's our army? Where are our nukes? Where is it? Right? You're still under bondage and subject to payments. Rent, mortgage, car insurance, phone, child support. right? So the Most High said, nobody will be able to serve themselves of you again when he save you from your captivity, right? Read. So that's very important. That's starting to show us, um, that's starting to place in time what the deed that Michael the archangel is going to do in saving the Israelites from our day of trouble, from Jacob's trouble. So if no one will be able to enslave us after Michael saves us from this Jacob's trouble, what you need to see is that this is the time when Christ reestablishes the kingdom on earth, because that's the only time that no one will be able to oppress the Negro anymore. Before that, we're still under oppression, right? We're still in the ghettos, man. Okay? We still have ghettoized mentalities, most importantly, right? So Michael is freeing us from Jacob's trouble at the end of Esau's kingdom, the end of the oppressor's kingdom, which is the beginning of ours pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. So I just want to place that in time for you. Read on.
But they shall serve Yahweh their God, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
Right?
Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity.
You
And
see
Jacob
that? Sorry, go ahead.
and Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
Right. So that salvation that Michael's going to be the head of, it results in
Mhm.
Jacob returning to the land, Jacob being
You
free from
realize
his
the method?
captivity.
Yeah.
I can hear you guys on the line, okay?
Oh.
Um, it results in Jacob returning to his land, Jacob being at rest, being quiet, and nobody being able to put Jacob within fear ever again. That's what that freedom that Michael is fighting to bring the Israelites after Jacob's trouble. This is what it will result in. And so that's how we know this is at the coming of Yahushua to establish the Israelite kingdom, because this is when the righteous Israelite will be at peace. Okay. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 16. Bear with me here. Oh. Ben, let's get 71 to 74, please.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh.
Wait, start in 70.
For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahweh.
Mm-hmm. So pause. The scriptures is telling us a time is gonna come where everyone is gonna turn against the righteous Israelite. Everywhere. Okay? And then what's gonna happen?
They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh. For they
Hold
shall
on, hold on, hold on. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna rob and kill those that fear Yahweh, man. That's why he tells you in another place, when Jacob's trouble come, that's when you're gonna see who is his chosen, right? Because some people gonna sell out, man. They're not gonna take the stabbing to death or the beheading or the being shot or being drowned or whatever other way that the heathen decide that they're gonna come and kill us, man. Okay? Some people are going to renounce Yahweh Shai, man. Some people are gonna renounce Yahweh. Okay? Right? When these people come and begin to destroy the followers of Yahweh. Right? Read on.
for they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses.
Hmm.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Right?
Hear ye, hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
Right. So the Most High said he's gonna deliver us from the same. Now, why does it say, they're gonna go around spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High, and then it says, hey, the Most High is gonna save you from the same? Well, think of this in a couple different ways. Number one, I'd like to look at this in the Greek to see if that destroying is the proper translation. If it indeed is, remember Yahweh Shai says, told his disciples they would all die for the gospel. And then he says, in your patience possess ye your souls. Okay, that's the true life. So at the end of the day, even if they take your life, they cannot have your soul. Your soul is saved, and you shall have vengeance upon them. You understand? So even if they take your life, literally, you're good, right? And if this does not talk about actually giving up your life, then you know the meaning within this particular context as well. Uh, Regardless though, the Most High said when the trouble comes upon you, He gonna deliver you from the same. This is again adding another piece to the puzzle from Daniel 12, where it says, there's going to be a tribulation like no other coming upon you. We know it's Jacob's trouble, right? Because look here, we're finding out, okay, there's going to come a time where everyone's going to rise up against the children of Israel that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You're going to see, as we keep studying, that for a very long time, we were not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And we just started back keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So it's going to be after this time that we're living in. Well, during this time that we're living in. Because we here, he also says within the scriptures, it's easier for us to see the coming of Yahweh Shai than for us not to see it. Okay, we who are alive in this time. So we are the ones that will face Jacob's trouble, right? And will be saved out of Jacob's trouble. All right. So the tribulation, like no other, is talking about Jacob's trouble. We just got another witness on it. Let's look at this last one. Right? This is basically the mirror of Daniel 12. Revelation 12. Let me get 7 to 11 here, please. Oh, wait, let me pull up the interlinear. Okay. Go ahead, Sister Kira. Go ahead, Sister Kira.
Sorry, verse 10.
7 to 11.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their peace found, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Pause. So I want to bring to your attention that again it mentions Michael here, mirroring Daniel 12. At the same time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. There shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was ever a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right. And when we go to Revelation 12, 12, it says here, there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon fought and his angels. So Christianity teaches you that this happened at the beginning of time. There was a war in heaven, and then Satan was cast down to earth, and that's how Satan ended up on earth. Well, that's nonsense, because the Bible tells you in the book of Daniel that Michael gonna fight for the Israelites at the end, and just before their kingdom is established, man. So when we go here in Revelation 12, this is talking about at the end of Esau's kingdom. Michael and the angels gonna fight against the dragon, which is Satan. Satan gonna fight, and also Satan's angels gonna fight. It says they didn't prevail. There wasn't any place found anymore in heaven. Now, don't get tricked with the heaven, because heaven doesn't always mean Shamayim, where the Most High dwell. Heaven also stands for a state of being. Falling from heaven to earth represents, what do you call it? Losing your status. Let's see here. One second. I didn't prepare a particular precept for this. You know what, for the sake of time, let me pull it up for you guys next week. I'll have that precept for you guys for heaven next week, Lord willing. Okay. So it says that the dragon was neither was a place found anymore in heaven. Not Shamayim, where the Most High dwell, but in the high state of his living. All right. The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth. His angels were cast out with him. So here we see that this is actually talking about the same old serpent called the devil and Satan. He went out and he deceived the whole world. And it tells you earlier here, this same dragon, where is it? Watch what this same dragon does, right? When you see what the dragon does, you see that it's talking about the human form of the dragon, which is the oppressor, okay? The so-called European, right? Watch this. It says, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, which we broke down already, did cast them to the earth. Cast them to the earth. Not literally to planet Earth, but from their heaven to um to the dirt, essentially destroying them, as we just read in Daniel chapter 8. The dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. This is how you know that there are various forms of the dragon. The dragon in this context is talking about literally Herod, and Herod is an Edomite. So the Edomite tried to devour the child, which is Christ, as soon as the child was born. So now when you scroll down here and you understand this in context, it is the Edomite that was cast, it says, out. The old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. This is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about the Edomite. He is the one that deceived the whole world and told them Christ is a European and so on and so forth. How do we know? This doesn't even say cast out. It says cast down, right? So I just want to look at that real quick. How are we doing for time? Oh, time's almost up. There was war in heaven. Michael, the angels of him, warred against the dragon. The dragon warred back, and the angels of him. Remember, angels also means messengers. So this is all symbolic languages, a language that you have to understand with the precepts. And not had he strength nor place was found for them any longer in heaven. Okay. And was, oh, we might even be able to find the various meanings of heaven that I was looking for right here. Let's see. See that? Happiness, power, eternity. Okay. Um, perhaps from same as oros to the idea of elevation. Okay. Where is it? I've been here a few times already. Bear with me if I don't see it on this scroll. Okay. Scope of the term. I'll find it and I'll bring it back for you guys. But anyway, you guys already seen at least one piece of evidence showing that it doesn't just mean Shemaim. Okay. So watch this. And not had he strength nor a place was found for them any longer in heaven, and was thrown. They inserted this out here, okay, and was thrown the dragon, great serpent, ancient, who is called the devil and Satan, deceiving the whole world. He was thrown down, family. So the Christian church tell you cast out, but it's thrown down. To cast. There was this word here, ebleth, or ebleth, or maybe eblethe. Not 100% on the pronunciation. Cast, throw, rush, often in a weaker sense. Place, put, drop. You see that? So, the devil that deceived the whole world, he was thrown down to the earth, and the angels of him with him were thrown down. All that means, brothers and sisters, is that they lost their place of power. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 tells you Esau, or the oppressor, the so-called European, is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so all this is describing is the war on behalf of the saints that Michael and the angels fight against the so-called European and his allies, man, because they're all gonna fight Christ in war. Remember, we read that in Daniel, and he says they will be broken without hand. which is why it says they did not prevail here in Revelation 12. Okay, hopefully you see that. And then it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven. Now look at this. This also shows you that the Christian interpretation is wrong. I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. Hold up. So Satan is thrown down to earth to go help people sin it up, and voices in heaven are saying, now is come salvation. That doesn't add up, family. Okay? Our interpretation of the scripture is the correct interpretation, right? It says, and I heard a loud voice saying, now is come salvation. When? After the throwing down of the Edomite kingdom, and strength, and the kingdom of our God. Clearly showing this is happening at the end of the last kingdom, the clay and iron kingdom of Daniel. And the power of his Christ. So all that is established now. So how will there be any, what's going on? Right? Satan is not roaming after this, man. Right? And I say that kind of tongue in cheek because there's some more mysteries within the scriptures. He's not roaming as you understand after this. For the accuser of our brethren, he's not thrown down. He's cast down. He wasn't thrown down to earth. He's cast down. He's lost all his power. He's lost all his glory and the kingdoms of the earth. The accuser which accused them before our God day and night, the man is cast down. And what happened? Here's more evidence. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. The people written in the book of the Lamb? Yeah. They overcame the dragon, which is the Edomite. How? By the word, by the blood of the Lamb. Meaning they started practicing righteousness. And the word of their testimony, man. They preached the gospel, trying to wake up as many people as possible. What also happened? They loved not their lives unto death as well, man. So they were willing to give up their lives for the faith, right? And here we have our answer, right? Some will have to give up their lives for the faith, man. Hey, are you so committed to Yahweh that you will give up your life instead of renouncing the Most High, man? Many of our ancestors had to do it. I know of a little girl that jumped in a fire, man, instead of becoming a Christian. They tried to make her into a Christian when she knows she's a Hebrew, and they killed her parents by burning them in the churchyard. And they said, oh, we'll spare you if you become a Christian. The little girl jumped in the fire, man. Are you going to have that kind of spirit when the time comes? Or you're going to fold, man, right? Because you're just teetering on the edge. You're lukewarm, you know? This thing is hardcore, man, right? We are kings, priests, fighters, man, soldiers, man, right? Stubborn people, yeah, but the stubbornness turns to good when you're stubborn for the Most High. The fighting spirit turns to good when you're fighting for the Most High, right? Hey, are women decapitated men? That happened, man. Okay? Do you have a warrior spirit? Right? Or are you just a damn Greek, man? A hippie? Peace to the whole world, and you're burning incense and smoking weed, man. Right? I digress. And then it says here, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, See, meaning people, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. All right. And again, this is Esau just doing his worst, because when Michael and them show up, that's it for him, man. Slavery, death, and destruction for him at those times, right? So now the spiritual demon is doing the most. You understand? That's it. Because remember, the demons said to Yahweh Shai, this, it's not our time, right? Um, let me see if I can pull it up. And we'll end with this. Right? The demons fear Yahweh Shai, man. Because when it's time for their punishment, it will be total and complete destruction and annihilation for them. Matthew 8. Um, hmm, let's see. I'll go from 28. And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, man, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. So these guys had so much demons in them that nobody even walked that way, man. Because these guys were fierce. They said in another passage, man would burst chains, man. Okay. It says, and behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahushai, thou Son of God? That's what the demon said. Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? You see? So there is a time, this time here in Revelation 12, when the demons shall be tormented by Yahweh Shai. The same thing is backed up in Daniel chapter 12. Okay, when Michael stand up, the archangel Michael stand up, and it's time for war, Satan and his demons in the spirit realm and the oppressor and his pastors and allies, military allies, they're all going down. The Most High will flatten every city on earth, right? And take over this earth for the sake of the Israelite, right? So with that, we'll stop right there for today. Um, we'll continue breaking down this scripture next week, Lord willing, and see if we can't give you a full understanding of this part here where it says, they shall prophesy 1,203 score days clothed in sackcloth, right? So all praise to the Most High. For those who are watching live or who will watch later on video, if you're a Negro, you are the biblical Israelite. You need to return to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your God. This is your true heritage and purpose on this earth. You are a king and a priest. You are a royal priesthood and a holy nation. You must return to your God, or you shall perish with the nations. All right. If you are a Gentile who is not an oppressor, uh, religion is folly. Philosophy is folly. If you really want to please the creator of the universe, you must learn his ways under the tutelage of the Israelites. All right. Um, uh, that's it, right? And if you're an oppressor, the Most High has reserved for you doom and destruction, and you shall surely have it at his hand, right? So for those that are on the line, just stay, let's pray out. And for those who watch the video, thanks for watching the video. You know, see you guys in the next one. If you really want to live, keep the link.